So you've heard of an executor, you've heard of a trustee. What's the difference? They get used interchangeably a lot. Pretty simple. An executor is going to be somebody who's named in a person's last will and testament. The executor might also be called the personal representative, depending on the state that you're in. So the executor is going to come into play after a person has died. They're the ones who's going to be in charge of going to court, asking the judge to approve the will, and distributing the assets in the probate court itself. So when you think of executor, you think of probate. There's a court process. And so executor comes along with the last will and testament. The trustee, on the other hand, is kind of like what it sounds like. It has to do with the trust. So if someone has a trust, if they've done a revocable trust, a living trust, something along those lines, they're going to name somebody as the trustee, which is the person in charge of administering the trust, which is the person in charge of transferring assets. So remember, one of the big difference between a will and a trust is that if done properly, there will be no probate, there will be no court when a person has a trust. So if there's a trustee, he or she's not going to have to go to court because there's no court, there is no probate. Whereas with a last will and testament, you've got the executor, he or she will probably have to go to court. They don't have to be the same person. And sometimes, because maybe the trust didn't work for whatever reason, and so now there is going to be probate, it's possible that a person did a will and a trust, and there might be the executor in the will might be different than the trustee. That can certainly be the case. So executor, trustee, kind of the same in the sense that they're both making sure the wishes of a person are fulfilled after they pass away. But with the executor, it's in the will and it's going to court. With the trustee, it's in the trust and they're not going to court.